Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a chilling warning to NATO, cautioning against supplying Ukraine with long-range weapons. He emphasized that such actions would not be taken lightly by Russia. He asserted that such a move would be interpreted as direct involvement in the conflict, escalating tensions to a frightening degree. The potential for a broader conflict looms large. Putin's words sent shockwaves through the international community, raising fears of a wider war. The global response has been one of heightened alert and concern. The Kremlin's stance is clear. Military aid to Ukraine is a red line that must not be crossed. Any breach of this line could have severe consequences. Putin's warning came amidst reports that the United States is considering sending ATACMS missiles to Ukraine. These missiles, with a range of up to 190 miles, would significantly enhance Ukraine's ability to strike Russian military targets deep inside occupied territory. This capability could shift the balance of power in the region. The Kremlin views this potential transfer as a major escalation, arguing that it would prolong the conflict and increase the risk of a direct confrontation between Russia and NATO. The stakes have never been higher. The timing of Putin's warning is significant. It comes as Ukraine's counteroffensive is gaining momentum, with Ukrainian forces making incremental but steady progress in retaking territory in the south and east. This progress has been closely monitored by international observers. Putin's threat is widely seen as an attempt to deter further Western support for Ukraine and sow divisions within the NATO alliance. The unity of NATO is being tested. Putin's words are a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in the Ukraine conflict. The situation remains tense and volatile, with the potential for miscalculation and escalation a constant concern. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for a peaceful resolution. The war in Ukraine has entered a critical phase, with both sides preparing for what could be a decisive period in the conflict. After months of grueling fighting, Ukrainian forces have launched a counteroffensive, a bold move that has been in the planning stages for quite some time. They are aiming to reclaim territory seized by Russia, pushing forward with renewed vigor and strategic precision. This counteroffensive, while facing fierce resistance, has shown signs of success, with Ukrainian troops making significant advances. These advances are putting pressure on Russian lines, forcing them to reconsider their positions and strategies. The situation on the ground is fluid and dynamic, changing rapidly as both sides adapt to new developments. With both sides heavily invested in the outcome, the stakes are incredibly high. Ukrainian forces are demonstrating resilience and determination, qualities that have been crucial in their efforts. Bolstered by Western military aid and training, they are better equipped and more prepared than ever before. However, Russia still occupies a significant portion of Ukrainian territory, maintaining a strong presence in key areas. Its military retains a numerical advantage in terms of troops and equipment, making the conflict even more challenging for Ukraine. The conflict's trajectory remains uncertain, with many variables at play. While Ukraine's counteroffensive offers a glimmer of hope, it is clear that the road ahead will be difficult. The coming months will be crucial in determining the war's direction, as both sides prepare for further engagements. The international community watches anxiously, aware of the broader implications of this conflict. The stakes could not be higher, with global stability and security hanging in the balance. Putin's warning has been met with a mixture of condemnation and resolve from Western leaders, who have united in their stance against his aggressive actions. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken, during a recent visit to Kyiv, reaffirmed America's unwavering support for Ukraine's sovereignty and right to self-defense. His visit underscored the deepening ties between the two nations in the face of Russian aggression. He condemned Russia's aggression and emphasized that the United States would continue to provide Ukraine with the necessary military aid to defend itself. Blinken highlighted the importance of standing up to bullies on the global stage. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, in talks with President Biden, echoed Blinken's sentiments, reinforcing the transatlantic alliance. He stressed the importance of maintaining a united front against Russian aggression and pledged the United Kingdom's ongoing commitment to supporting Ukraine's fight for freedom. Starmer's words were a clear signal of the UK's dedication to this cause. Both leaders emphasized the need for continued military and humanitarian aid to Ukraine, sending a clear message of solidarity to Moscow. They highlighted the dual approach of providing both defensive capabilities and humanitarian relief. Western leaders have rejected Putin's attempts to dictate the terms of their support for Ukraine, standing firm in their resolve. They argue that Russia, as the aggressor in this conflict, has no right to dictate which weapons Ukraine can and cannot receive. This stance is a direct challenge to Putin's attempts to control the narrative. The provision of long-range missiles, they argue, is a defensive measure, enabling Ukraine to strike Russian military targets and deter further aggression. This strategic support aims to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities and ensure its sovereignty.